what sticks may work for me, would not work for many others, and vice versa. It's just a very personal thing. I in fact make my own, just because I think it's I have more control in how exactly which stick can work for me for a particular purpose.
That's fascinating. So, how did you get into making your own sticks? What caused you to want to do that?
Well, I don't want to throw any vendors under the bus
Sure. Yeah,
publicly,
we don't need
but
to say names, but like what
no,
brought you to a point
yeah.
where you're
So
like, all right, I need to make my own sticks?
when I was in college, I had a fleet of sticks when I was leaving high school, because I knew you had to have more than just a pair, which is what I had at the time. Because of course you just had a timpani stick. That was it. And then when I started getting more serious in my studies, I'm like, oh, okay, so there are more options here. So I had a set of 5 or 6 by the time I was getting into college. And that's when I got there. I saw all the other percussionists. I mean, when I was in high school, I was, a lot of us who went to music school, I'm sure you can relate. You usually you're at the top of your game in high school. So when you get into college, you get knocked down a couple pegs, and you get to be amongst, your peers and other talent. So you get to see what other great musicians are doing. Not to say you don't have other great musicians earlier on, but I think you understand what I mean. It's just,
Sure.
it's a great equalizer.
Different talent pools. In high school, you're in a much smaller talent pool, whereas when you go to a music school or a conservatory, you're surrounded by people who've been pursuing this one musical goal for as long or longer than you have. And so the talent pool becomes incredibly concentrated just around that one subject and one focus area.
Precisely. Much more eloquently said than I. So I watched all these other percussionists, and they've got fleets of mallets, and they've got so many options. I'm like, wow, I really got to step it up here. I don't have anything like this. So then it just became a very long journey of experimentation. What are those sticks that she has? What do they bring into the table versus what do I have? So, it's just a lot of conversation, experimentation. Hey, where'd you get those? What do they do? How does it work? Then I go out and try them out. No, those don't really work for me. They're a little too light in the back and all that. So I actually went through, I think I bought complete sets, and we're talking like 20 to 30 mallets of a couple different vendors, just to see, and none of them, just for me, none of them were exactly what I was looking for. Some had some elements, some others had different elements. And I'm like, man, if I could take this head and put it on this handle, that'd be great. So that's what I did. I started ripping things apart and putting them together in different ways. And then I'm like, wait, why am I going to spend that kind of money? I'm going to buy 2 sticks just to break them and put them back together. Like, well, I'll cut out the middleman here. I'll just make them from scratch. So, I started calling up some vendors and talking to some carbon fiber suppliers out in California, and talking to some lathe workers locally, and seeing what I can get cut, what I can do. And honestly, I didn't save that much money in all this experimentation. But the point being is I just wanted to have a product that I knew would work for me. I didn't have to tweak what I wanted to do because of the tool. I always tell my students, the tools work for you. So, make them your own. And it was something that really worked out for me in the long run.